Okay, now how am I going to apply into here? Remember to load the family back here. Which family? The profile family. How to check whether is it loaded or if you forget? You go to your project browser under families and you scroll down, look for profiles, which is here. All right. And just now the family name is called pedestrian profile, blah blah blah, right? Means something similar lah, huh? If you don't show, you didn't see here, that means not loaded. Now you just need to go to insert load family, then look for where you save it. Say ours here is under your class, then assignment 2, yeah, this one, railing for pedestrian, open. So if loaded, you should able to see here. See that? This one or this one. Yep. So once done, straight away, okay, all loaded, you select your existing ramp, especially the railing. Highlight the railing. Just go to edit type. Okay, because that is the default. Going to replace the one that you just loaded. So I'm going to duplicate. I call this as my wall rail. Let's say simple one, 1100 mm. You still, I mean, you prefer to use back the default name, say pedestrian for, sorry, railing for pedestrian, please by all means. I just want to key something simple since we only have the only one that's here. Now, the rail top remove, you don't want this. Further down, nothing much, all right, or detail we can come later. Blaster placement, just to check, make sure that at main pattern is none. Blaster per thread, you don't need that, so uncheck this. Lastly, the pose, make sure there's none here. Okay, and of course the final one, how you apply that rail template profile is actually under rail structure non-continuous, edit. Here is nothing, you just need to insert, then you can change it lah, maybe call this wall, yeah, wall rail or rail wall, whatever lah. Oh, height must follow back what you create in your profile, 1100. Now for this, if you're not sure what's the value, you can don't change first, okay, then later you see what happen. Important here is your profile. You must select the one that you created, railing profile, apply, okay, okay. Then you see from here, see how the profile symbolize. See the center, and that's the top, assume lah that way. So to move in, all right, to move in, you need to adjust, is actually your rail structure, this value. So since it's half of it, if I put 75, apply, it's outside, this is no way it's floating. So here should be minus 75. Always remember half. See, inside now. Okay. And now you select for this. type selector, swap it. Now you have your design. Of course, this designs looks ugly lah. Why? You did not adjust one. See? Super ugly. All this still able to make changes. Let's say now hit the line. Go back to your plan. Adjust your RAM. Select your RAM. Add it. And normally I like to delete this. Extend it using what? Boundary line to draw. Maybe another 200. Then ideally is arc lah. Alright. No need to be a full semicircle. Partial will do. Then straight line back. Remember, do not extend. All this must be separate segment. Then as for this, delete away. Get bigger arc because exchange area should be wider. Alright. Now just random draw is okay. But in real world practice, of course, you got to based on the loading that you are carrying. Finish it. Your model will also update, and you can see it's a lot more nicer that way. See that? 150 is a bit thick, but doesn't matter. Okay. The next one that I'm going to show you is the railing. If you want the railing to be on top, higher than that, you can add one or add on top of that. How? Let me show you. But of course, that kind of detail is to be done by Aki lah. Structure actually need not to know. But in case for you guys, if you want to learn, it's very simple. You just need to select this railing, edit, come here and add only. But the height must be higher because this is already 1001. So let's say I put there 1002. And not this profile, something else, maybe a nicer one. Only one. Okay lah, leave it. Okay, it look like this. But you can see that it's not in the center, so you got to adjust it. But because you are creating it together, adjusting it also very challenging. That's why it says here, select from path. If I select this from path, everything is moving. Alright, so normally do not do this method. I'll show you another method. Say no first, and it's gone. You should add the one on top. Easier that way. Insert. This one you just say top rail. Height, let's say 1002. Offset here, don't care first. Important thing is get the profile you want, the railing. If you don't have, please go and load. But now I want to make use of what you have here. Apply. Okay. Apply. It's shown, right? Now, to further offset is here. Like what you're adjusting it. Minus 75. Let's see where it goes. See? It shifted in. See now? It doesn't restrict by your that railing. Okay? All this sometimes due to the angles and overlap and some calculation is okay because like a 1-2 mm thingy, so not critical. Let me see, can we join and yeah, can. If you can join, that would be good. Alright, so that you will see the line properly done. But this is just for modeling. See, detail you can't see, but zoom out is there. Alright, because of this clearance lah. Okay, so you can add railing like this for Archi lah. Structure, don't add this, please. You're not doing this style of detailing. Okay, so that is your concrete rail. Interesting, right? So Archi, there's a lot of things you can add. For structure, you want is only the concrete wall. Okay, questions? Hmm? Yiming, done already. What else you guys want to learn? Or recap? Or revise? Hmm? Or structure analysis? So quiet. Anything else you want me to revise? And by the way, whoever just come in or you're late, double check your Moodle. See, have you submitted your this assignment? Last final lockout date is 15 February. All right, go back and double check. Either you send to me already or whatsoever, please resubmit all to Moodle to be safer. Okay? Yeah. Any other thing you need me to revise or you want me to revise? Your structure function here. Take a look. Structure, column, beam, truss, system. Of course, if you talk about structure, everything must be structure. Yeah, everything. That one I think we clarify on your assignment, right? If you are doing for engineering calculation, the way the design make a lot of difference. Okay, maybe I'll do one more on the structural analysis, which is important. Let's say, let me quit this project now, just to for CE class, you guys have an idea. I'm going to select structural analysis template project again. I can share with you what I've learned for the calculation loading, how you apply. Okay, for start, let's say we have a grid line. And you can see that there's the view here. This one, or this view that you see here default is where you define your loading, then it will show. Those that without, let's say standard 3D, you don't see them. And also this particular tools here is to also to enable the analytical model to be displayed when you are doing your normal 3D model view. Okay, so let's say I want to have something simple. I will add a grid line. This is what I was taught lah. So we draw one grid line, a simple one. Then maybe another one is like maybe 7,000, like this, simple. Okay, for so-called loading, how you define. Now, next, a different grid, which is here. Of course, here I will change this to A lah. All right, like that. Okay, so maybe I move this guy low a bit. So by looking at the model, which is here, you might see nothing. If I enable the 3D model, that's different. You see the line is there. Now, let's do a WT side by side. When you are doing, let's say, as an engineer, a calculation, all right, what you need to add, of course, that's important. Your column, your footing, or your power cap, and your beam. This is default. So look and listen carefully. Okay, that will benefit you guys. Lucky your test will not test you on this, but I just want you guys to know for those CE class, C students. So first thing first, I would like to add my structure column. So column, okay, and of course it's vertical and it's from second floor to first story. So the column, let's say we use a standard one, 300 by 450, for instance. When you select that, remember for the structural material, it's very important. So this structure material, you need to choose. Of course, depends on your region. All right, like for Singapore, for US, from China, and so on. Now, what are material that you consider, to use? You got to find out from your country itself or from the engineering, because this is concrete, that's one thing. But concrete got different type of hardness, which is preset here. That will determine an average design. They have certain so-called loading bearing calculation, and of course your rebar cover kind of thing. In Singapore, uh, the engineer they use C35 to do the calculation for that, for engineering. For structure building lah. Yeah, basically this is the average one. So C30, you pick OK. That means my pocket, my footing, or is your footing, your beam, your column, you use that. So remember, the material is very important. So I'm going to add this. So you can actually add grid, select these two, it will add, and you click finish. Okay. Now from here you can see in your model viewer, because you enable the analytical model display. If you uncheck, it will not. And here basically is wireframe. You can set your view to hidden line, so it's up to you. So you show it doesn't, but wireframe it does. See that? So sometimes you are doing structure, you guys doing structure, you notice that how come there's a overlay in color contrast, like overlapping, because of this. We need to turn this on is when you are doing analytical. All right, if you're doing just model, like in 3D view like this, you don't need this, and this should be wireframe, hidden line. So if you are doing analytical model, you see like this is correct. The height model, you only see the thin line. Okay, questions? Now next, let's go back here. I'm going to create the beam. So beam, I'm at second story, it's fine. So I go to beam, then I'll choose, let's say, same thing, column. Remember the material same also, not just cast in gray. Set it to 30 also for calculation purpose. Then you draw. So as you know, when you draw, you're not sure where to snap. the easiest method is used on grid, because for engineering they must be snap on grid to grid. If you know, if you're not sure, select on grid, you won't go wrong. Okay, apply, it's done. Questions? Now lastly, if let's say this is considered one level, the base itself is just a footing, so it's okay. So footing, isolate, let's choose this smaller size. So I just need to this one I'm not really interested yet. It's just the to stop it. So to hold it lah, so called. Yeah, like that. So your base, it look like this. Just that the view it don't show. That's why it the sound lah. It's okay. So a simple calculation, it should be like this. But if you go to analytical, you see only this. Questions? Now, how you assign the loading? Okay, this is important. You still can. It's just that here the view you need to set, because wireframe you set hidden line it will not show, but ideally is this you got to turn off. That means in your model you set this to wireframe as I mentioned. It's all the while is there default if you never off this. See the line is there, because how engineer do the calculation is the connection this to this. You see now, this is what they want, not your model. Is the analytical line that is the concern. Okay, but because you are doing only structural model, so we don't display this. Yeah, and the view should be default hidden line, because you're seeing model ma. Okay, or you're doing model, can. That's why you can see structure they have two, calculation and model. Okay, all good. Now since you have a footing, you notice one thing here is you go to your analyze. Analyze, you see there's a loading thing here. Don't care about this, it's here. Analytical model, you have some setting. You can see fix, pin, roller, user define. Okay, like fix means what? Things that are grounded, like you are connected to your footing. That means it's die one. Pin means still adjust, meaning what? Column and column, normally beam across a column is pin because mover ma. It's just that base is fixed. So default, if I'm going to select the boundary condition, let's say for this, all right, you see that here they say point, they say line, because the loading is actually along, so it should not be point, right? It should be the line. If you have 4 area, then it should be an area. If it's one column itself, then it should be point. Okay, so you see if I pick line, or before I pick line, I just pick this. You see here, this condition is not fixed. It should be what? It's pin. Because it's not grounded, it's just connected to the column. So this is pin. Then For this load, okay, you see below the pin, you see this? Foundation is wrong, you tap. Make sure what you select is column and make sure it's fixed, it's correct. You can see here, got two, it says electrical isolated foundation. This is not what you're supposed to select. You tap, use a tap key to select. Okay, so for this loading point, for instance, all right, I click load. It should be a point load for this, correct? But see, when I pick, hold on, is it boundary? See, it says analytical column reference is correct. If you tap, it's some other thing. So make sure what you select is column. This is not line, sorry, undo. It should be point load on this. See now, it give me isolated foundation. Tab key, this is what you want. Here, same thing. Tab, So make sure that what you select is correct. Double check. Point, analytical column, correct. You snap. So this is your fixed loading and is on the ground. All right. But for this is pin and the load you need to define. All right, is line. So you select this. How come become pin back? Yo, hate you. What's happening? Yeah, pin correct. How come just now give me loading hosted line? Okay, then you define the loading you want. Sorry, just now I think I made a mistake. This is the boundary setting, which is we define this already. As for this load distribution, it should be loading. And load, you can see you have point load, line load. But because you are hosted into this, all this is unless it's on its own, no column below. So for this line only, it should be hosted. All right. And of course, you need to set the loading you want. So let's say I put there minus 5 kilonewton. Okay. Apply. You click the loading here. This is how the loading will define. The higher the value, the longer this line is. Okay, so this is how you define. As for loading calculation is a bit different, meaning you need to have the robot software. Yeah, got no robot software, you can't do anything. All right, this only define. For actual loading calculation, you must have the software called robot, which is I think your later year you guys will go and this is software. All right, during your school days you can download, but don't do now. When you have classes and your sir will ask you guys to download, this is the one. Yeah. Okay, my currently is a trial version, so I can't show you guys much, which is already expired, I believe. Okay, so this is how you define. All right, questions for just, let's say, a loading this way. Okay, any other things you want me to cover? Remember, when you're doing your loading, you must have this. All right. So analyze condition point. This is fixed. So remember here that ah, what you detect must be your column. So this is correct. As for the loading, is distribute along this form. Then what you need to select loading is this hosted area. Okay, but before that, make sure all this must be pinned, not fixed. So ideally, try to select more and double check. Play safe. Pin and pin. Okay, now you can add loading hosted, and of course, let's say here lah, minus 5 kilonewton. This is example. Then you draw lah. Oops. How come? Hey, how come I can't do anything? What's happening all of a sudden? Plan, load, host. Hey, how come I cannot define? What's happening? Host lay correct What's happening? Load combination. Oh, hold on. Date load. Load cases is where you define, since you already done that. Condition here is area. Hmm? Okay, how come suddenly I'm so confused? Suddenly doesn't allow me to add. Correct loading. Date load one. Yeah. Very really. How come doesn't allow me to add? What's happening to my system? Hmm. Fix. 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 Fix correctly. Why doesn't allow me to add? You guys trying? I don't know why it doesn't allow me to add load assigned to this. Oh, I see. I know why. My bad. I don't have a slab. No wonder. And the loading itself also. Yeah. Hold on. No wonder cannot. Hmm? Something disappeared. Okay, this column, material, make sure it's the same. My beam, Make sure material is same. Now it's a slab. No wonder no slab. Structure, floor, structure. Let's say we select concrete in situ. Okay, make sure your material is also same. I don't see material here. Edit type. Edit here. Your concrete here. This one. This is finish. This one here. C30. Okay. Make sure this is the same. Okay. Then you sketch rectangle across center to center your grid line. At second level, finish it. Yep. Now I believe you can get our loading. This I was wondering, I can't find this. Analyze, load, hosted area. You just pick this. This is how you create your area loading. No wonder I keep looking for missing information. Questions? This is something that is very basic because I'll say that in Singapore we will calculate dead load. Of course, there's also live load. Humans stay inside. Yeah. Furniture, all these are dead load. Things that move around is live load. So you got to calculate what type of dead load that you need to be added so it's supported using your beam, your slab, and so on. Okay, so that is for engineering. Questions? If not, I'll stop recording for this.